Have you ever been in the situation where you used an iterator and then an array aggregator and you were wondering, why does it only show value? I need the actual values that are being output by the iterator, for example, country and area in square kilometers, and use them in my aggregator, but they are not showing up. So let me show you 3 ways of how you can make them show up inside the Array Aggregator module over here. We already looked at one possibility before, and I will just touch it briefly. So using the text aggregator to create a dynamic JSON structure and then parsing it afterwards. So we insert the country name and then we insert the area in square kilometers, and that's just number type. So like this, advanced settings, row separator, other, and a comma to make it a proper JSON structure. And then yes, and then we need a parse JSON module, parse JSON. Let me actually disconnect it to avoid confusion. So we use a parse JSON where we parse this text aggregator output and wrap it into square brackets to make it an actual array. And lastly, we can use the parse JSON module as the source module. And now it still doesn't show anything. That is because we have to run it once first before we can get the actual data, or before Make actually knows what kind of values the parse JSON module would output. And now since we've run it once, we can now find the actual variables here in the aggregator and use it for proper aggregation. So this is our first option that we have. And the second option would be to use a set multiple variables module. So let me create a branch here and use the set multiple variables module. Oops, that was the wrong one. Let's go down here. It's easier, it's faster. Set multiple variables, and the first one would be country. And here we map the country in, and then the second one is area in square kilometers, and we use the value here. Okay. And then we can use an array aggregator afterwards with the iterator as the source. And here we will have the variables from our set multiple variables module. Now, if I disconnect that one and show you that solution, of course, this will consume a lot of operations because for every single item inside the array, it will actually consume one operation for setting the multiple variables. And therefore, I want to show you yet another option how you can do that. And that is actually not using an iterator first, but using transform to JSON module, where you use the raw data here. Then you can let it run once and it will show you this output. And then you can use the parse JSON module right afterwards and just insert the JSON string from that module before. And now you can use the array aggregator and use the parse JSON module as the source, and you have to let it run once. Otherwise, Make does not know what to expect. So let me disable that route and let's run it one more time. And now we are able to select the country and area in square kilometers down here. And that's actually, in my opinion, the easiest fix how you can do it, because it can also handle like more complex data structures and things that would break your JSON, and you don't have to create the parameters by hand like this in this case. And it also just consumes 3 operations no matter how many items you have in your parse JSON module. So let's run it one more time and see the output. And here we go. So we have this whole array aggregator, put it back together in here. And we can also use that one to filter and say, okay, if square kilometers is greater than 5 million, then we want to get these countries. And only then. Let me organize that a little bit. And run this once. And the output will look like this. We only have 6 elements left of the area in square kilometers greater than 5 million. I hope this helped a lot and gives you some ideas of how you can avoid the array aggregator not showing the proper data. And this one is probably the easiest solution, but the other ones will work as well. See you in the next lesson.